Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be diving deep today
Mm-hmm.
into a question I'm sure many of you have thought about at some point,
Yeah.
which is, how do you inspire your spouse to embrace your faith,
Oh, yeah.
especially if your practice is rooted in Buddhist teachings?
Yeah.
Now, before we get into it, full disclosure,
Sure.
this deep dive is going to be based on Sensei's guidance as found in Westward Transmission,
Right.
a chapter in the New Human Revolution, Volume 3.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
think of this as a springboard for your own exploration and not a replacement for the original text.
That's key.
Yeah.
We're kind of drawing inspiration from Sensei's experiences
Yeah.
and interpretations specifically within the context of this novel.
Yeah.
So while these teachings offer really valuable insights, remember it's always best to refer back to the source material
Of
for a
course.
comprehensive understanding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I think we can all relate to wanting to share something, something meaningful with our loved ones.
Sure.
But pushing beliefs, especially about faith,
Mm.
can really backfire.
Mm.
I mean, has anybody ever convinced you of anything through sheer force of argument?
Not really, right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sensei, with his, characteristic wisdom,
Yeah.
cautions against this very thing.
Uh-huh.
He points out that forcing beliefs
Yeah.
rarely works
Right.
and often creates more resistance than understanding.
Yeah.
What's really fascinating here is that he goes beyond simply saying, avoid arguments.
Mm-hmm.
He dives into the why.
Yeah.
That creating a harmonious home environment
Okay.
is paramount.
Yeah.
Even more so than winning a theological debate.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So instead of preaching, what does Sensei suggest we do?
Well, he proposes a shift in focus.
Okay.
Instead of words,
Yeah.
let your actions speak for your faith.
Okay.
The source material even gives specific examples.
Oh, wow.
How this positive transformation can show up in a family life.
Health, finances,
Mm-hmm.
even your relationships overall.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's less about you should believe this too,
Mm-hmm.
and more about look how this positively impacts my life.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever personally been inspired by somebody's actions more than their words?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's human nature to be drawn to people
Uh-huh.
who embody the qualities we admire.
Yeah.
Seeing someone navigate challenges with grace or approach life with this newfound joy
Mm-hmm.
speaks volumes.
It's like they become a living testament to their beliefs.
Exactly.
Right. And that leads us to Sensei's emphasis on actual proof, not theory, as the most convincing element.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that actually look like in practice?
It boils down to living the teachings.
Okay.
There's a powerful quote from Sensei in this chapter
Okay.
where he says,
Mm-hmm.
whether your spouse takes faith depends on how thoughtful and considerate a partner you can be.
Wow, that's really striking.
It's not about grand gestures of faith,
Mm-hmm.
but rather those everyday acts of kindness,
Mm-hmm.
of truly striving to be a better person.
Precisely.
Right.
And that aligns beautifully with Buddhist teachings on compassion and interconnectedness.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that personal growth isn't just self-serving.
Uh-huh.
It ripples outward, impacting everyone around us,
Right.
especially those closest to us.
I'm already getting so much from this deep dive.
Yeah.
So we've talked about avoiding conflict,
Yeah.
leading by example,
Mm-hmm.
and focusing on personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we should consider?
Well, Sensei also highlights the importance of prayer,
Oh, okay.
specifically chanting Nam-myoho-renge-kyo
Uh-huh.
as the bedrock of all these efforts.
Okay.
He states,
Okay.
prayer is the basis of everything.
Okay.
It is important to set a specific goal for your daimoku and then chant with firm determination.
So it's not just about chanting in general, but
Right.
chanting with focused intention. That makes me wonder,
Yeah.
how does this connect to inspiring a spouse?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Chanting for your spouse's happiness and well-being,
Uh-huh.
aligning your actions with your heartfelt desires,
Mm-hmm.
is where the magic happens.
Okay.
It's about tapping into the qualities that make you a better partner,
Yeah.
a better person, patience, love, wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Those qualities naturally emanate from a consistent chanting practice.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's not about manipulating the outcome,
Right.
but rather about creating the right internal conditions
Mm-hmm.
for positive change to blossom both within ourselves and in our relationships.
What a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of another point Sensei emphasizes,
Okay.
that our personal transformation can inspire others without us even saying a word.
Yeah.
It's about trusting that the positive energy we cultivate will naturally influence those around us.
It's like planting a seed
Yeah.
and nurturing it with care,
Mm.
knowing that in time it will blossom.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can't force a flower to bloom,
Right.
but you can create the conditions for it to thrive.
Right.
And speaking of conditions,
Wow.
let's circle back to that disclaimer we mentioned at the beginning, just to reiterate.
Sure.
We're extracting these insights from a specific chapter, Westward Transmission,
Yeah, okay.
in the New Human Revolution, Volume 3.
Right.
And for those unfamiliar with this,
Yeah.
the New Human Revolution, or NHR for short,
Uh-huh.
is a biographical novel series
Okay.
about the life of Daisaku Ikeda,
Right.
known affectionately as Sensei by members of Soka Gakkai International.
Okay.
So while these teachings are deeply insightful,
Yeah.
they're presented within the context of his personal experiences and interpretations,
Right.
which is why it's always a good idea to delve deeper
Yeah.
into the original Soka Gakkai literature
Of course.
for a more complete understanding.
It's like getting a taste of an incredible dish and then wanting to explore the full recipe.
Yeah.
And speaking of exploring,
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to recap
Huh.
the key takeaways from this deep dive.
Sure.
What are the main points you'd like our listeners to walk away with today?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
First and foremost, when it comes to matters of faith,
Yeah.
ditch the urge to debate. Instead of pushing your beliefs on your partner, focus on nurturing a loving and harmonious home environment.
Setting the stage for open-mindedness and mutual respect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second, let your actions be the loudest testament to your faith. Let those positive changes you experience speak for themselves.
So don't just tell.
Exactly. Be it improvements in health, finances, relationships, or overall well-being.
Yeah.
Those tangible changes are far more convincing than words.
That's a powerful point.
Yeah.
And third, never underestimate the importance of personal growth. Strive to be the kind of partner you'd want to be with. That's thoughtful, considerate, compassionate. That inner transformation has a ripple effect.
Yes.
That extends far beyond ourselves.
Absolutely.
It's about walking the path, not just talking about it.
Yeah.
And finally, remember the power of prayer,
Yes.
particularly chanting Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. Chant with focused intention, determination,
Yeah.
and trust that the positive energy you're generating will ripple out,
Right.
inspiring those around you.
It's about cultivating the qualities you wish to see reflected
Yeah,
in your relationship and in the world.
so beautifully put.
Thank you.
This has been an incredibly enlightening conversation.
All right.
I think the biggest takeaway for me
Yeah.
is that inspiring faith in others is less about pronouncements
Right.
and more about the subtle yet powerful shifts we make within ourselves.
Absolutely.
It really is. It's not about forcing anything,
Right. Yeah.
but creating the space for genuine connection and understanding. And, you know, while we've been focusing on inspiring a spouse, these principles really apply to any relationship
That's true.
where you're hoping to share something deeply meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes back to leading by example, embodying the change we want to see.
Yeah.
Whether it's with a spouse, a family member, or even a colleague,
Right.
our actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to wrap things up, let's bring it back to our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing they can take away from this deep dive
Yeah.
and apply in their own lives starting today?
I would say reflect on the qualities you want to embody in your relationships.
Okay.
Is it patience,
Mm-hmm.
compassion,
Yeah.
understanding?
Uh-huh.
Then connect those qualities back to your practice.
Oh, yeah.
How can chanting, studying,
Yeah.
or even reflecting on Buddhist teachings
Mm-hmm.
help you cultivate those traits?
Such a powerful suggestion.
Yeah.
It's not just about hoping our loved ones will embrace our faith,
Right.
but about becoming the kind of person who naturally inspires them through our actions and our way of being.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And remember, it's a journey,
Uh-huh.
not a destination. There will be ups and downs.
Right.
But with consistent effort and a focus on personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
we can create a ripple effect of positivity in all of our relationships.
Beautifully said. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive
Okay.
into the delicate dance of faith and relationships.
Yeah.
We hope you found these insights from Westward Transmission helpful and thought-provoking.
I hope so.
Remember, this is just a starting point. We encourage you to explore the full chapter in the New Human Revolution, Volume 3.
Yes.
And draw your own conclusions.
Absolutely.
And of course, as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into fascinating topics.
Yes, please do.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.